continuing to talk about some very important topics for Baby Safety Month, and today we're talking about safe sleep. Joining us to do that is Lisa Cullen. She's the Director of Outreach and Education with Healthy Start Coalition of Hillsborough County. Thank you for talking with us.
Thank you for having us here today.
Gosh, this is such an important topic, and we do need to point out the fact that this has impacted a lot of families in Tampa Bay.
It has. We have seen almost 200 deaths from unsafe sleep in the Tampa Bay area over the last 10 years.
It's certainly scary. It is certainly something that parents, start to think about when they do have a newborn, but it's always good to have these reminders.
It is always, the recommendations change, everything updates. As we know, when we learn better, we do better. So these are the latest recommendations that we bring to people in the community.
Yes, so let's get right into it. Parents, maybe you've heard of it before, the ABCs of safe sleep.
Yes, this is the easiest way to remember what you should be doing. It's put the baby alone, on their back, in a crib, and only a crib.
So if you remember those things, that's a great start.
It's a great start. You don't want them in alternate locations like couches, adult sleep spaces, soft places, air mattresses. We always want them in their own crib.
Yes, it's always a very important thing. But there are other things that we want to talk about that do create an unsafe sleep environment. So we brought a couple of props here to talk about. So let's start down at the end. We have a blanket down here.
Yes, blankets are wonderful for babies. Everybody loves to put their baby snugly in a blanket. They're fine as long as you're holding them in a blanket, and that's it. A blanket should never be loose in a sleeping space with the baby. The danger of that is that it gets over their mouth and nose, and we call that an occlusion of the mouth and nose, and that's where they have problems getting enough oxygen.
Yeah, good. Nothing in the crib, and that includes stuffed animals.
Stuffed animals, cute as can be. Everybody has a lot of them. That's fine, but they should really keep their distance from the young ones. You actually have to watch a lot if you have older children in the house and they want to put their stuffed animals with the baby. You just want to be careful and explain that if the baby's face gets against the stuffed animals, then that's when they have a risk of suffocation. It's the same reason why we eliminated bumpers in cribs, those real cute bumper pads that used to serve a purpose 100 years ago in antique cribs. They are no longer required or recommended at all, and they have the same risk as stuffed animals do.
All right, so this is probably a very popular item that you've had in your home. Maybe you've gifted it, which it can be very useful, but it also can be dangerous.
Yes, this is the Boppy Pillow, and moms use it to assist them with breastfeeding and to take the weight of the baby really off of their shoulders, which is great. The problem is some people use it to prop the baby for sleep, and they can suffocate because their chin drops. Their neck muscles aren't as strong to hold their head up. It's not designed for sleep. That was not its intention. It actually has a safety piece on it that warns against having the baby sleep in there. So we want the moms to have them. They're for the moms, but they are never to be used for sleeping.
That's good to know because a lot of people probably have these. Now, this is interesting that you were kind of bringing up this kind of propping the baby up in certain situations can be dangerous.
Yes, we all feel better if the baby's sick or congested or if they have reflux. There's a tendency to want to incline them and put their head above their body like we do when we're congested. However, there's recent research that shows that there's no advantage to having their head inclined, and it may actually be dangerous for them for the same reason as the Boppy Pillow. So we never want to use an incline of any type.
Something else we want to talk about that we want to make sure that we're not using, there is this item that I'll let you explain it and why it's so dangerous.
Yes, the Rock and Play was designed and put out a couple years ago. It actually had 84 infants that suffocated and died in them. There was a recall from the Consumer Product Safety Commission. We had about a dozen more babies die after that, so they did a second recall just to make sure everybody got the message. The Rock and Play should never be used, and it should not be sold anywhere. If you have one, you should, and we strongly recommend you get rid of it.
Get rid of that for sure. Now, many of you probably use a pack and play, which is a great way to have a baby sleep, but you have to do it the way that it came.
Correct. And the pack and play is the perfect place. Baby can sleep in it at home. If you travel, they get used to it. They love it. It doesn't look warm and fuzzy like the cribs you see on TV or in a catalog or a magazine, but a pack and play with the mattress that it comes with, which is actually a pretty hard trifold, sort of softish surface, but that's it. That is the absolute best way for a baby to sleep. And there are companies that make supplemental mattresses and items for pack and plays. Those should never be used. They're not safety approved. Yeah. Yes, you can sleep better at night if your baby's in a pack and play and you know that they're safe.
Yes. Well, thank you so much. This was wonderful information, Lisa. If there is somebody out there that wants to get some more information, maybe they need some more tips, they want to learn a little bit more, how do they do that?
We actually have two sites you can go to. One is the children's sports site, which is preventneedlessdeath.com. And we also have our own website around this program, which is healthysafebaby.org.
Well, thank you so much. Such an important topic that we hope that you take something away from this that makes it a little safer for your little one. So thank you so much.
Thank you.